The world of GTA Online can be a very confusing place because as soon as you jump in, you're pelted with choices on what to buy and where to go. Everybody tells you that making lots of money as fast as possible is the main reason to play this game, but few people will tell you what to actually do with all that money. Well, since I've already got a bunch of guides on the best money making practices in GTA Online, I figured I'd tell you also about the best items to buy. I bet there are several of you out there who are relatively new to GTA Online and still haven't figured out the most efficient ways to use their limited cash reserves without wasting it on useless stuff. So pay attention to my top 12 list here, because every single item on this list is either designed to help you make more money or protect the money that you've already earned. I'm talking vehicles, weapons, accessories, and yes, even businesses. The very first item on my list today, and one that you should buy immediately if you don't already have it, is the Venerable Agency. This is without a doubt one of the best businesses in GTA Online for a couple of reasons. First, it is the most versatile money-making method in the game, with payphone hits, security contracts, and the Dr. Dre VIP contract. Secondly, you get access to SUV fast travel, as well as a personal armory that sells both weapons and body armor at a 5% discount. The SUV fast travel and armory are two of the most underrated features of the agency, and they significantly improve your quality of life because you basically never have to visit an ammunition store. With an upgrade, you can even get Mark II weapons in your agency armory, along with consumable items such as rebreathers. And the payout from the business side of things isn't too shabby either. It's actually really good. Payphone hits give you around $45,000 every 10 minutes. Security contracts start at $31,000 for the professional tier difficulty, and they go all the way up to $70,000 or so for Specialist Plus. And then finally, you've got the Dr. Dre VIP contract, which rewards you $1 million for the finale. All things considered here, the agency is one of the best value for money purchases you can make in this game, and it starts at just over $2 million for the cheapest property, which is honestly an excellent deal considering all the benefits and quality of life upgrades that you're going to be getting. But is the agency still as good as the Catka? While technically a vehicle, the Catka submarine is the single most profitable purchase in the entire game, as it unlocks the Cayo Perico heist, which is still the best money-making method if you go on an hourly basis. With a couple tries, you can reliably complete Cayo Perico in under an hour and earn $1 million on average per run. Not only that, but the Catka also comes with an improved version of the agency fast travel. With the Catka, once you've done the Madrazo files, you can go to the command room and choose from a drop-down list of locations for just $2,000. And there's even a built-in helipad for your Sparrow, which is one of the fastest ways to travel around in the entire game, and it makes the heist setups for Cayo Perico feel trivial because you can spawn it right next to you, hop on in, and just go to the locations that you need to go to almost instantaneously. However, the Sparrow isn't free. You have to purchase an upgrade for your Catka, which costs around $1.8 million, which is why I'm including the Sparrow as the next most important purchasable item on my list after the Catka. Unlike other helicopters in the game, you can't buy the Sparrow by itself through the Warstock website. Instead, you must first acquire a Catka submarine, and only then will you then be able to purchase this helicopter through the Moonpool upgrade. While not the most resilient of aircraft, the Sparrow does make up for its flimsy construction by being an absolute menace thanks to the homing missiles as well as superb handling in the air that it has. Plus, Rockstar gave it a slight buff a few months ago, which means it now takes 2 landings, and 2 really hard landings at that, to blow up instead of just 1, but you should still get it because it is the best way to travel back and forth from your Catka or just around the map, or in general while doing your setups for the Cayo Perico heist. If you want a slightly more tanky vehicle that doesn't feel like driving around in a wet paper bag, try out the Terabyte. In this default state, before any upgrades, this beast can tank 34 rockets, which is, by the way, more than the Catka submarine. I don't know how a truck is more heavily armored than a giant military submarine, but that's GTA logic for you. Anyway, the Terabyte can now be equipped with Amani Tech upgrades, or maybe I should call them Bureau Tech upgrades, because you can only get these through the new Darnell Bros Garment Factory as part of the new Agents of Sabotage DLC. In the Darnell Bros garage, you have a spot reserved for your Terabyte, and this gives you access to unique upgrades that weren't available previously. One of those is the missile jamming system, which functions identically to its Amani Tech counterpart, turning your already basically invincible Terabyte into an even more impenetrable tank. And if you want to disappear off the radar, you can install the silent running upgrade. However, the caveat to this feature here is that it only works if your Terabyte is standing still, so not really silent running, more like silent standing. If someone has been tracking your movement on the radar and you suddenly disappear, they'll still find you because you haven't moved from your last position if you go invisible, if you get what I mean. However, destroying you will be quite the challenge with the missile lock-on jammer. Next up is the Salvage Yard, a place where destroyed vehicles are brought in later to be scrapped for parts. And the Salvage Yard has two main ways of making money. First, you can do tow truck missions, for which obviously you need a tow truck. Once you have a tow truck, you can go around the map and hook up cars to be brought to your salvage yard where your technicians will strip them for parts. You can work on up to 2 cars at a time, and for higher end models, you can make up to $40,000 per car every single in-game day. So in 48 real-life minutes, with 2 cars being salvaged, you can earn $80,000. And this is basically passive income once you get them to the salvaging, so you can drive around and work on your other businesses while those cars are being salvaged. You also have a wall safe in your office, and the more tow jobs you do, the more money that's going to accumulate in your wall safe. However, the most profitable way of making money with the salvage yard and the chop shop is the robbery contracts. Every single week, you can do 3 unique heists in which you steal a high value vehicle. This could be a coupe, an exotic, muscle car, supercar, you name it. And you get anywhere from $300,000 to $400,000 per car for a total of just over $1 million a week. Combined with the passive income from the tow trucks as well as the wall safe, this makes the salvage yard very profitable for not really a whole lot of work as well, and that's why I highly recommend it to everyone, both new and old players alike. Now that you have all these businesses, you'll need an armored vehicle to get around, whether it be for your resupplies or heist setups. And I generally don't recommend something like the Brigade or Terabyte for everyday driving unless you really need a mobile HQ for some reason. That's because they're kind of overkill for PvE and they're also quite slow and cumbersome to handle. Instead, I suggest you grab an armored Kuruma because it's both fast and nimble for an armored vehicle, and it will get you around town while also protecting you from most small arms fire. It does have a bit of understeer compared to the regular Kuruma because of all the extra weight. However, that added mass is also worth it for protection against assault rifles and heavy snipers. You can also go the route with the Duke of Death, which is free for everyone. Its armor is going to be slightly worse than the Kuruma, and it can only fit 2 players inside, but you are getting it for free, so there's not a whole lot to complain about right there. Alternatively, if you feel like you need an amphibious vehicle to complement your Catka, you can get the Toreador, which has a both car and submarine mode, along with the option to mount homing missiles on it as well as torpedoes. And if you're looking to cosplay as the Dark Knight himself, there's always the Vigilante as well. It's basically the Batmobile from the 1989 Batman movie, heavily armored, jet powered, and it's even equipped with the legendary Bat missiles to completely dispel the notion that Batman doesn't kill. Now, since you're not Batman, you're probably going to be killing a lot of NPCs and various other troublemakers in GTA Online, so you're going to need some good weapons. If you don't already have a basic loadout at hand, I recommend the Special Carbine Mark II. It delivers good damage at close to medium range, with precision automatic fire as well as a decent mag capacity. For chewing up targets at close range, nothing beats the assault shotgun. And if you're looking to cause some long distance chaos, the Heavy Sniper Mark II should be your go-to precision rifle. Equip explosive rounds on that, or even up close. With the assault shotgun, you can also try out the pump action shotgun Mark II, put explosive rounds on there as well. Not only can these delete armored enemies from extreme distances with the sniper or up close with the shotgun, but you can also take out aircraft with the sniper, kill juggernauts faster, take out lightly armored vehicles once you use explosive ammo, things like that. Now, if you're on the receiving end of one of these guns, you'll definitely want to be wearing a bulletproof helmet, especially when you're fighting against human opponents as well as actual players, as they tend to go for headshots quite often. The bulletproof helmet won't actually make your head bulletproof, but it will at least protect you from the first couple of shots and give you enough time to react to that other player. And it's way better than not wearing a helmet at all, because you'll just die to the first round that hits your head otherwise. So while it may look goofy on your character, definitely invest in a bulletproof helmet if you value function over form. Now, speaking of clothing items that also look goofy, next up is the Scuba Suit. Now, I know what you're thinking here. What is the point of a Scuba Suit, and why do I need one in GTA Online? Well, as it turns out, there are actually quite a few collectibles hidden underneath the ocean surface, and you'll also occasionally run into a mission that requires underwater diving. So trust me on this one, if your lung capacity isn't maxed out and you don't swim a lot, save yourself a lot of time by investing in a $160,000 Scuba Suit. The next item on my list is the Autoshop, and this is the kind of purchase that saves you a ton of money over time, even if you don't do vehicle deliveries and export missions. First off, owning an Autoshop automatically unlocks every single vehicle upgrade irrespective of your level, which is a huge deal if you're a new player. Secondly, you get a 10% discount on all vehicle mods, so if you're someone who likes to purchase and upgrade cars all the time, or even just a little bit, this is a dream business. Like Nvidia's CEO said, the more you buy, the more you save. Except in this case, it's actually true. Plus, if you ever decide to make money with your Autoshop, there are also several ways to do so. You can customize and deliver client vehicles and deliver them to customers. You can also do exports, in which you go to a location marked on the map and drive an expensive car to the docks so they can then be repurposed to a different owner overseas. And finally, you have the contracts, which are like heists with a setup phase and finale. These reward anywhere from $160,000 to $300,000 per contract and can typically be completed in 20 to 30 minutes max. The arcade is another business you might want to own here, not because of the Diamond Casino, which on its own is a good enough reason, but because of the $1.7 million Master Control Terminal upgrade. With this installed inside of your arcade, you can manage every single one of your businesses without once having to drive to the actual location. It's like a global remote control for resupplying all of your MC and warehouse businesses. You can't access the Acid Lab, unfortunately, but that's fine because you can just call Mutt on your phone by pressing up on your D-pad and he'll resupply the Acid Lab for you. And that being said, the Acid Lab is also a great purchase for solo players, but didn't quite make it on today's list. If you are a solo player though, I would probably get the Acid Lab over maybe the Salvage Yard we discussed earlier on. Both of them are really good. The Acid Lab, you could just farm deliveries over and over and over during your playtime, which is really good. But that being said, we're going to talk about a rather controversial vehicle that's become the symbol of griefing in GTA Online. And I'm of course referring to the Oppressor Mark II, a vehicle that you either absolutely hate or absolutely love depending on which side of the homing missiles you're sitting on. The cool thing about the Oppressor Mark II is that you can spawn it anywhere, and it's a flying bike that goes really fast. It's armed to the teeth with homing missiles that will absolutely ruin anyone's day. It's a great grinding tool, but it does cost a whopping $8 million, making it nearly 4 times as expensive as the Catka. But if you need to move around the city in a hurry while retaining tons of offensive capability in a small form factor, nothing beats the Oppressor Mark II. You can easily clear entire mobs of NPCs with one strafing run, or blow up someone's car while they're minding their own business. At the end of the day, the Oppressor Mark II is just a tool that you can use for grinding, and the choice to be an asshole lies in the hands of the player. But anyways, that does it for today's video. What do you think of my list here? Are there any items that I failed to mention that you think are must-haves? Let me know in the comments. Also, if you liked this video and found it informative, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe so I can bring you more GTA Online content like this in the future. Make sure to check out my 15 best ways of making money video. I'll have that link down in the description below. Also check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/hazardoushdtv, and I will see you guys in the next GTA 5 online video. Adios, amigos.